Hello guys, welcome back to FOS Volume TV, and today's tutorial is about vectors, how to use your calculator to solve vectors. And last week we talked about how we can use our calculator to solve linear equations, but today we want to take vectors, and we will take our time to dig deeper to vectors. So maybe we can break vectors lesson to maybe 2 or 3. First of all, we want to know the functions where we can identify the functions that we can use to solve vectors. So we have vectors like vector A, vector B, vector C, how we can use calculator to know where our vector B is, where C is, and how we can do the operations. So first of all, let's get to know the functions before we solve questions on that. So you have to on your calculator on it. Then what you have to do next is to check where you can see vector function. So this calculator, let's see, we are using Casio FX991 ES Plus. And so when you are using ES Plus, it's the same as using ES. So ES Plus and ES goes the same. But those that are using MS are slightly different, but we'll try to explain the MS as well. So now let's go quickly and dig deeper. So when you on your calculator like this, next thing you have to do is to go to mode. This is mode. So mode, and when you go to mode, you can see this 8 is vector. And so you need to select 8, and we have this on it. We have vector B, we have vector B here, vector A, vector C, but we will get to explain all those things later on. So you have to go to AC. Now your calculator has registered vectors on it. That's it. And so now what we have to do next is we want to know where we can access our vectors very quick. So if you want to know vector A, it's to go to Shift 5 and 3. Give you vector A. Shift 5 3 is vector A. Now when you get your vector A, every vector has dimensions. So we can have 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. So what we have to do is we want to know the dimension for vector A. So get the dimension of vector A is when you go to AC, go to Shift 5 and you go to 1 1 2. Now this is the 2 dimension for vector A. Now let's take our time and we'll explain it. Now go Shift 5 and let's see. Number 1 here is dim. That one is a dimension. So we're going to pick 1. Very good. Now when you pick 1, we are talking about vector A. So we need to pick 1 again. Now when you come here, you will see this. And this is 3 and this is 2. Now the first 1 and 2 here is the digit that you will pick here. But the 3 behind and the 2 behind is telling you the dimensions. So when you select the 2, then it means you are talking about 2 dimension. So then when we select 2, we have a 2 dimension here. Now if we go AC, we go Shift 5, then dim 1, then we have a vector 1, and we pick number 1 again. It means we are talking about dimension 3, and they give you 1 2 3. That's it. We go AC. Now the next step is you want to know vector B and its dimensions. So the way to get vector B is to go Shift, go 5, then we select 1 as the dim, which gives us the dimensions. So now we take 1. When we take 1, we have vector B here as 2. Then when you take those, this gives us the dimensions. Which one are you looking for? If it is 1, you pick. If it is 2, dimension, you pick 2. If it's 3 dimension, you pick 1. So this gives a 2 dimension. And when you come back again, shift 5, then 1 is the dim, then you select 2 as the dimension, and you take 1 as 3 dimension for vector B. That's it. It's very simple. So now we know a vector and 8 dimensions and where we can access vectors on the calculator. So first of all, we'll go to mode and we'll select 8 and we activate the vector function. Now if you want to know vector A, what you have to do is you go shift 5, then you can pick it direct, which is 3. Vector B is 4. Vector C is what? 5. Now, if you want to know the dimension, then you go to the dim, which is the 1, and when you select the vector, which one you are looking for. Is it vector A that you are looking for the functions or dimensions, or vector B looking for the dimension, or vector C that you are looking for the dimension? When you select, you get. So, for example, let's go like we are looking for vector C dimensions. What do? Go and pick the 3. So 3, and which dimension are we talking about? Is it dimension 2 or dimension 3? Okay, if it is 3, we select 1, and we have this to edit or to put any figures we want to do. So that's how we access our vectors and its dimensions. That's great. Always don't forget to go click on AC or press on AC, because that's puts your data on a safer area for you. So that's for the ES plus and the ES. But with this, let me chip in something small. Those that are using 82 calculator, yes. Now we have yours. I don't have the calculator here, so I can use the book to teach you. Now using FX 991 MS calculators. Now to get your vector or to activate the vectors on your calculator, first of all, you need to go here and you get it. So you go to mode 3 times. You see small 3 here. Mode 3 times, and you click 3, shift 1 3 1 5 3 1 will give you vector A. When you get a book, you can continue doing all those, learn all where you can find the functions, and you'll be able to solve a lot of questions. So now we have, let me try to do something small here. We have something called like maybe A equal to, this is 3 and the 4, and the B is like this. Maybe 1. No, we don't have a 1 and 2. Then we have a C. And this is 3 and 5. These are the vectors we are talking about. And this is a 2-dimension vectors. So we have a vector A, vector B, and a vector C. So now we know where we can do. Now we just want to do a simple addition and subtraction. Then we'll go to the next session. So we have additions and subtractions of vectors. So let's see how we can add vectors. Now let's pick an example of a vector. Now let's see. So we have A equal to -3 and 1, and we have B equal to vector 4 and 5. And the question says we are adding. Let's see how we can add it. So we have A minus B, and that's I, and the I is A plus B. Okay, so now we have this very simple. We have those vectors. You don't say you don't want to work it, you want to use your calculator solving it. What you have to do, we have A and B. So quickly, you need to get where your vector A is. So first of all, we have the function on the calculator already. So what we have to do is to go to the shift 5. Then we just need the function, because we have to go to them and know the dimension. Which dimension are you using? So you go to 1, and we have vector what? A. We go to 1 again, and what is our dimension? Our dimension is 2. So we have this. So we select 2 quickly. Then we tap -3. Now that one is straight. And when you type, you need to go to equal sign to register it on the calculator. Now the next one is 1. You go 1 equal sign, and it is registered. You go to AC, and you come to the B, which is B. Now we want to know the B dimension, and the dimension is 2. So first of all, go shift 5. Then we select B, which is a 4. Then we we have to go this way. Now we want to input B, which is the B vector B. So first of all, what we have to do is we go to shift 5, we go to dim, which is the 1, then we select 2 as our vector B here, and we know our dimension is also 2. Then we have those. We enter our values. There's a 4 equal sign and a 5 equal sign. Now we are done. Now we say we should add and subtract. So the II is subtract. Now what we have to do is to go shift 5. Now that's why we are not going to dim again. We just pick the vector here. So 3 is a A. And we have minus shift 5 vector B, and with 4, and we have this on the calculator. Now we go equal sign, and the answer give us let's write the answer here, which is -7 and the -4. That's the answer given unto us. Now we'll work it manually and see. You go to your AC. Now let's do the addition here quickly and see. The addition is shift 5, and we'll go vector 3, which is a vector A, plus shift 5, and we'll select us as 4. Now we have vector A plus vector B. You go to equal sign, is you give us 1, and you can use the Casio, which is 6 here. So now we have those quickly. Now let's solve it manually and see what we will get. Now we have A minus B vectors equal to, now A is -3, 1, minus 4, and 5. So in the answer here is going to be, you have A minus B. So this is -3 minus 4 is -7, and a 1 minus 5 is -4. So the first one we had it right, which is this one is -7 and a -4. Let's try to do the last one, and let's see. The next one was addition. So A plus B give us -3, 1, plus we have is 4. So 4 and a 5. So putting the addition sign here, we have those. This will give us 1, because it's -3, +3. This give us 1, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So we had this one correct as 1 and 6. So that's how we use calculator solving vectors very quickly if you know how to use your calculator very well. It's as simple as that. So we have this. Now we can have a question like A, B, C vectors. Now we are developing how we can solve this. Now I want us to pick another question. and we end this one and we'll get to another session. Now let's see, we have question like vector A is equal to let's go 2, 7. Then we have vector B as equal to 1, -2, and vector C gives you -3, -5. Okay, so the answer, the question says answer the following as I is A plus B minus C. I is B minus C plus A, and it's okay. That's good. So let's try this too. So quickly, what you have to do is to input your values on the calculator. So what you have to do is we go always, if you are not already activate the vectors, then you need to go to mode 8, but we have it already, so we don't need to go to mode 8 anymore. We always use AC, then we are done. So the first thing you have to do is to go shift, I will go 5, and we take the name because we need to know the dimension. So we go 1, and we take 1 again, and which dimension is 2, and we put the values there as 2 registered, then a 7 also registered. We go AC, then I quickly come shift 5, then we go 1 as the dim, we go to vector 2, which is vector B. We know the dimension as 2, and we'll put the values there, which is 1 registered, -2 registered. Now we go to AC quickly. Now we get to the vector C as shift 5, take the dim 1, pick vector C as 3, take 2 as your dimension, you enter the values -3 registered, -5 also registered. Now we go here. We are done with the data entry. Now we just want to solve this. So it says that this one is quickly, go shift 5, and now we won't go to dimension as 1 again. We go A, which is 3, then we go plus shift 5, then we go 4 here. So shift those, and you get your minus, and we have a -5, which is vector C. You go equal sign, and we have the answer here. The answer is 6 and 10. As for those, we will work it manually and see if we'll have it. Then quickly, let's go to the II. The II give us those. So shift 5 is a B, which is B is a 4, and the minus sign, shift 5 is C, C is a 5, then the plus A, shift 5, A is 3. Now we are done with this. We go equal sign, and we have our vector as 6 and 10 again. 6 and 10 again. Wow. So now we will solve it manually and see if we get the same answers like that. So now we have those as our answers. Now let's go to the question and we try to solve it ourselves and see how the answers will show. So now we pick quickly. We have A as 2, 7 plus, now we have 1, -2, then we have minus, no, the minus is here, so -3, and a -5. Okay, so now just open the bracket. We are going to get those three. So those will give us, because those one this is minus, this is minus. So minus grouping here, minus minus will give positive. So positive 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. And this one is, we have a 7 minus 2 is a 5. Now negative goes here, turns the 5 positive. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we get this as the answer. Now let's go to the C, the II and C. The II goes with, the first one is B. The B is 1, negative 2. Then we have minus C. Minus C is minus 3, minus 5. Then plus A. A is 2 and 7. So now let's go here as this minus will turn everything to positive. Yes, this minus turns, open a bracket, turns everything to positive. So now we have those 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Then this is 5 minus 2, or negative 2 plus 5 gives us positive 3 plus 7 gives 10. So this is correct. That's it. So this is how we deal with vectors, as simple as this. So now on this section, we just want to end this section, and we'll give another tutorial on the rest of the vectors. So now our first tutorial on vectors, we know where we can get the function if we take everything from our calculator and we want to start afresh. We know where we can get those as mode 8. Then we have the vectors. But when you go mode 8, just activate it and start working on it, where you can get your vectors, vector A, vector B, vector C, and where you can know your dimensions, where you go shift 5, the shift 5, and when you go 1 is dim, which is the functions, gives the dimension. The dim one gives dimension. Now we'll talk about more of this. So as we are building the vector, we'll know what is vector answers, what is dot, and what is the rest. All right, guys. So end our tutorial for this one here, and we'll continue with the rest.